Smell. We know when it's good, and we know when it's bad. But there's a woman in Scotland,
I'm Joy Milne.
who can smell the unsmellable.
My nose went on fire.
Joy Milne is the only known person who can smell Parkinson's disease.
I have an extremely sensitive sense of smell. I can smell it mainly on the forehead and the back of the neck.
To Joy, it has a greasy, musky odor.
It is just a heavy smell to me.
She first noticed it on her late husband, Les Milne, 12 years before he was diagnosed.
I just thought he was tired and he wasn't showering enough. It wasn't very welcome, of course, me saying to him, well, you're smelling.
It wasn't until she attended a conference with other Parkinson's patients that she realized the smell was something more.
When I walked into the room, I thought, gosh, these other people smell the same as Les does. At the end of the meeting, I stood up and said, why were they not investigating the smell of Parkinson's?
No one was investigating because no one else could smell it. Researchers set up a controlled experiment to test Joy's nose. She was asked to distinguish a set of t-shirts worn by those with and without the disease. She insisted one of the subjects in the control group had the musky scent.
The man rang about 8 months later and said, I've got Parkinson's. So I had pre-diagnosed somebody.
By the time most people are diagnosed, 80 to 90% of the damage is done. So Joy's mission is to help scientists improve early detection methods.
If they can find these people earlier, it would stop this anguish.
Some people say it smells like decaying garbage, or rotten meat, or smelly feet. But nope, it's stinky tofu. Stinky tofu has been fermented and gives off an intense smell. While mostly found as a street food throughout China, here in Taipei, one woman has given the stink a home.
我的名字叫做吴许碧英，我现在在台北市信义区代记独臭之家臭豆腐专卖店。因为吃这种东西就有点像吃辣椒一样，爱的人爱到极点了还不够辣。那我们这里也是一样，臭到极点了，他还觉得不够臭。那有的人一点点臭就受不了。
And a good stink all starts with a good brine.
我是仿着传承我父母亲留下来的那种发酵，然后很多种的天然的蔬菜，你要把它综合起来，以常温让它分解，大概要2年才可以用。分为它的水比较浓一点或淡一点来决定它的级数，有没有？好漂亮的菌花，有没有？豆干就是海绵体，它就分解，一边分解它会吸收，分解越久，它吸收的菌越多越饱，它就越臭就越嫩。
And for Miss Wu, it's not only about the taste.
最主要是要让人吃了身体会好。因为要吃的都是，他的身体需要它，因为它是非常强而有力的酵素。一些肠胃有问题，或是老人家抵抗力不够，需要给他一些好菌，让他的身体再活化起来。
But for most of Taiwan, it's about the taste.
味道很特殊，虽然很臭，可是吃起来很香，就变成慢慢流传到现在，臭豆腐就是我们台湾所喜欢的一种特色小吃。
Moral of the story? Don't judge a dish by its stink.
This is Uni, a 2-year-old binturong. With a face like a cat, a body like a bear, and a tail like a monkey, these reclusive creatures are unlike any other. Binturongs are native to the tropical rainforests of Southeast Asia and spend most of their time high in the treetops. They are excellent climbers. Their long prehensile tails act as another limb as they move through the trees. Even when asleep, their tails are anchored securely around a branch. The binturong's flexibility doesn't end there. Their ankles can rotate 180 degrees to maintain their grip, even when climbing down a tree head first. Perhaps the most curious trait of the binturong is its smell, buttered popcorn. While pleasing to a human nose, the binturong scent is a way to mark its territory and to warn rivals to move along. The binturong faces many threats, the worst being habitat destruction. Over the past 2 decades, their population has fallen precipitously. This is the binturong.
In the French Riviera lies a medieval town that's held one industry at its very heart for the last 300 years. This is Grasse. This is the world's capital of perfume. This is the city of scents.
Bienvenue à Grasse. Je pense que grâce à ça, l'industrie de la parfumerie, elle serait déconnectée de ce qu'elle était vouée à être, puisque de toute manière.
Some of the big names that come from here, like Chanel, Chanel No. 5, Dior, of course, and Louis Vuitton. It's something that's understood here. It's a community, it's a language, it's something that people share.
Je m'appelle Jean-Paul Joubert et je suis producteur de roses depuis que je suis né dedans. Allez. Ma famille a été un des premiers à cultiver des roses à Grasse aux alentours des années 1848-1850, les premiers essais. C'est une satisfaction, bon, tout dépend de la floraison, et la floraison c'est le temps. Aujourd'hui, la journée normale, vous voyez, les cueilleuses elles vont cueillir. Nous, dès que c'est cueilli, on va à un hangar, on les met dans les sacs et ça va à l'industriel. C'est quand même une satisfaction de faire une production dans le très très haut de gamme. Hein. La culture de la rose, c'est ce que je fais et je vais continuer encore quelques années parce que j'ai 72 ans. Hein.
Je m'appelle Frédéric Bali. On est vraiment dans un procédé d'extraction de la rose en elle-même. Il est évident que c'est une odeur qui est d'une richesse et d'une qualité au niveau des facettes qui est extrêmement recherchée. Donc une fois que les 3 étapes de lavage ont été faites, quotidiennement il va y avoir donc les livraisons de roses et on va accumuler dans l'évaporateur jusqu'à arriver vraiment à la dernière étape qui va être la concentration finale pour obtenir la concrète. Donc il faut 600 kg pour faire 1 kg d'extrait. Et je dirais un petit gramme d'extrait vaut autour de 40 €, 40-50 €. Donc Grasse en est emparée et sans ça, Grasse serait pas Grasse, c'est évident.
My name is Jessica Buchanan and I am an independent perfumer. I came to Grasse for perfumery school. So what I do is, in very simple context, mixing together raw materials for various different uses, whether it's a perfume that one would wear to, for example, a candle. I think to create a good perfume, I like to allow 6 months to a year. This is a very creative process. When I sit in front of the perfumer's organ and create, it's like sitting in front of a piano and composing music. Yeah, I think there's something in the air here.
In my work, I really try to reproduce smell scenarios for different purposes. Be it a street, be it a neighborhood in a city. I've done thousands of smell all over the world. Could we, on behalf of a smell molecule, find out something about history that we otherwise wouldn't know?
This is Sissel Tolas. She is many things. An artist, a scientist, but more importantly, a smell expert. She, however, prefers another title.
I call myself a professional in-betweener.
Which means what exactly?
There's a whole world to smell and a whole world to educate how to smell, so you cannot just limit yourself to one discipline.
Right. The point is, she has dedicated her life to the sense of smell, what it means, and how it can be used to better understand the world and each other.
Pretty early in my life, I started to ask questions. Why are we only understanding the world on behalf of how the world looks like? What if we start to use the other senses more appropriate for the same purpose? Off I went, starting to discover the same world I've been looking at for several years, using the nose for the purpose.
So how exactly did you go about recording and then reproducing these smells?
I will walk around, identify smells with my own nose. I have small devices that enable me to collect the smell molecules emitting from the source. With the result, I go to my lab, and then the data I get back is then the starting point of reproduction of the actual smell. I have a lab consisting of up to 4,000 chemical compounds. And with those ingredients, with those compounds, I literally reproduce invisible reality that surround you full time, all the time.
Name a city, a neighborhood within a neighborhood, a historical building, or even an era in time, and most likely Sizzle has reproduced that smell along with thousands of other scents here in her lab, with the hopes of using the findings for a bigger purpose.
The purpose can be tolerance, education, navigation, to memorize. The list is endless. It's more interesting if you really start to understand the smells and see how you can use that information for a purpose beyond the smell itself.
Most people think this fruit smells terrible. It's been described using words like rotting onions or raw sewage. Not this guy, though.
It's a very good smell to me. My name is Chang Tek Seng. They call me Durian Seng. I'm a farmer until now, nearly 30 years, selling durian. That's why they call me Durian Seng.
If you're not that familiar with durian, it has a spiky rind and the inside is a yellow, soft-colored, creamy fruit. It's native to Southeast Asia and, because of its odor, is actually banned from many public places.
Durian is forbidden in airport, in hotel. Some places they put a signage that no durian allowed. The smell you can't hide. My record is about 100 feet. I can smell durian.
Besides having a distinctive smell, durian also has a distinctive taste.
It's like a peanut caramel.
They have 5 flavors: sweet flavor, alcohol flavor, bitter flavor, flower flavor, and numb taste. Total of 5 flavors.
Numb taste literally means your mouth will go numb.
Wow, I can feel the numbness.
Freshly dropped durian, the flavor is so good. Even the bees come to the durian.
This might well be my new favorite fruit.
People in general are divided on this fruit. Those who love it.
The durian is so tasty.
It's really good. Tastes much better than it smells.
If you really like durian, there can be like, some people may look like crazy, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 meals are all durian. They can eat 5-7 fruits per day.
And there are others who just can't get past the smell.
It smells like all-day cheese.
For Durian Seng, it is the perfect fruit.
Either you like it or you hate it. Some people, they don't give chance to taste. But you got to try once in your lifetime.
Little trees. They're a rearview mirror staple, protecting noses from offensive odors all over the world. But where do they come from? Over 60 years ago, a scientist by the name of Julius Simon had a chance encounter with a milkman that changed the course of the air freshener game forever. It was in Watertown, New York. A milkman was making the rounds when he stopped to speak to Julius, a German Jewish chemist who fled the Nazis and studied alpine tree aromas in the forests of Canada. Said milkman began venting to Julius about the stench that spoiled milk left in his car, and thus the quest began to destroy bad car odors. Julius drew inspiration from the tree aromas he studied by infusing their oils onto paper. In 1954, he filed a patent for tree-shaped paper infused with odor-destroying air perfume. Julius then started producing the air fresheners out of an empty auto shop and sending samples to local gas stations. The little trees were a big hit, and Julius successfully created the first automotive air freshener. Though the look remains the same, the scents are forever changing. Now the Little Tree Company has over 60 scents and has sold over 1 billion little trees worldwide.